Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Desert. I'm Julia Alberg-Burbank, your worship associate for today. Before we get going into all the magical goodness we have today, I want to thank Mr. Joel Parks for the beauty he brings to every service and to helping us get our message across. If you would, please silence your cell phones. That way we won't have any interruptions. I appreciate that a lot. As we begin today's service, we acknowledge that we gather on the unceded lands of the Agua Caliente Band of the Cahuilla people. And we commit to grow in our understanding and relationship with this land and with the people who inhabited it and nurtured it well before our arrival. In this congregation, we strive to honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person. You are welcome, no matter your sexual orientation or gender identity, your age or your size, whether you're rich or poor. We welcome people of all races, religions, and cultures. We welcome you, wherever you come from, whoever you love. We welcome all of those who will learn and grow with us as we commit together to embrace the rich and beautiful diversity of the world. Our goal here is to build a community centered in justice, in compassion, and in love. We're glad you are here with us today, whether you are here in the sanctuary or at home. Your presence is a blessing. Good, welcome. We are so glad you are here with us today. And in the spirit of rejoicing and joining together, I have asked Daniela to come light the biopot candle. Please join me in the words on the screen. We light these candles in solidarity with Black, Indigenous, and other people of color as we journey together towards spiritual wholeness. May we, as a beloved community, work to dismantle racism and all forms of oppression. May we live out our values so that justice, dignity, and equity for all prevail. Reverend Ian will ring the Tibetan bowl, and together we will rest in our music for centering.
Come. Come, whoever you are. Do you hear that voice calling you, calling us? That voice which calls us together here today in this room made holy by our presence and by the sacred breath that we share in our singing and our speaking and our quiet. That voice which calls us to remember that we are not alone and that we are inextricably linked to all other life, woven into a vast tapestry of existence of which we are a powerful, integral, and holy part. And just as we have been called here together today, we act as the voice, the heart, the hands of another call. The call to walk with the wanderers, to sing and dance with the worshipers, to proclaim the memory of those who have taken their leave, to wrap the despairing and the broken in the arms of love and community, and hold the hands of all of us who have broken our vows and call us back again and again and again to the covenant and work of justice, humility, and steadfast faithfulness. For this we are here together today. So my friends, come, yet again come, let us worship together. We're going to begin our worship today as we sing our opening hymn, Come, come whoever you are. We're going to sing it twice through in unison all together, and then twice through in two parts, and we'll sing until we're done. You can do it. I know you can. Please rise in body and spirit. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of me, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come and again. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of me, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of me, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, despair. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of me, ours is no caravan of despair. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Thank you.
Please join with me as we light our chalice, a symbol of our covenant with one another. I breathe in the warmth of this light, its glow filling the spaces where fear and doubt reside. I breathe out the tension I carry. I release what no longer serves me. I breathe in the strength of our community, a sanctuary of diverse voices and shared purpose. I breathe out the urge to go it alone. I embrace the power of togetherness. I breathe in the courage to speak truth, even when it trembles on my lips. I breathe out the silence that holds me back. I make space for honesty and justice. I breathe in the hope of transformation, knowing we are here to build and to heal. I breathe out the despair, trusting that change is born in small acts of love. As we light this chalice, may each breath remind us of the sacred rhythm of life, the pulse of creation, and the power we hold to shape the world around us. When I first found out that I was going to be a grandmother, beyond my joy at the circumstance, I thought about two things: what I wanted to be called, and that I would need to crochet a blanket for this baby. At this time, my mom was too plagued by pain to crochet anymore, so I wouldn't be able to rely on her expertise. She had crocheted blankets for all 15 of her grandkids. Obviously, I needed to earn my Nana cred and figure out how to crochet a blanket. Now, as a young girl, my mom showed me how to crochet, mostly just a single chain. Teaching one of us to crochet didn't seem high on my mom's list of priorities. It seems to me it was something she enjoyed, in fact, for herself, quietly in her chair, counting stitches, following a pattern. It was perhaps meditative for her, just like she said her rosary every single day. And really, who could blame her? There were 6 kids, and this might have been a reprieve from her day. So consequently, I was a soon-to-be Nana who knew just enough to get myself in trouble. I went searching for patterns. They had to have the words easy or beginner in them, maybe even something about a weekend project. It needed to be one color because I had no idea how to change from one color to the next. And it should be a straightforward basic stitch because that's all I know how to do. I found the pattern. I bought the yarn all at the same time so the color would match. I even dug out my crochet hook in the correct size. I watched a little YouTube. I thought about paying someone else to make it. By now, the baby, Levon, is born. It's his first Christmas before I know it. I'm finally ready to start this weekend project over my winter break. Again, I decode the language of the pattern. I watch a couple of videos. How hard can it be? Okay, start with 22 single crochets. I've got this. But family is around, and love and goodness are going on, and I am easily distracted. I think 22 becomes 24 or maybe 19, but I swear that it's 22 each time. I finish the first skein and realize that I wanted one color because I have no idea how to switch between skeins. I made it up and hoped for the best. This is as far as I got. That's as far as I got. And trust me when I say I have accepted the outcome of this project, okay? And I'm not currently looking for help with it. My grandson and I will bond over his love of dinosaurs, and he will wrap himself in a cozy, warm blanket that was created for him by a friend, and I'm fine with that. What I'm reflecting on is what if early on I had spoken up and reached out to the community? What if I had allowed someone to teach me, to help me grow my skills beyond a single crochet stitch? In return, what might I have been able to do to provide something in support for the other person, thus strengthening the fabric of our community by an exchange of support? So as we move through these times together, it's so important to share skills, to speak up, to ask for assistance, and grow our capacity where we can. So as we work on growing our capacity and learning from one another, I invite Jack Fitzsimmons up to introduce our Share the Plate community partner for the month, Coachella Valley Volunteers in Medicine.
Thank you, and good morning. I'm on the Social Justice Committee, and I have the great honor and pleasure of introducing Daniela Buenrostro. Did I get it? Okay, from Volunteers in Medicine. This is not the first year we have supported Volunteers in Medicine with our Share of the Plate, but please give a warm welcome to Daniela.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Daniela. I'm from Volunteers in Medicine. We do have a video to show you. It's very short, and then after, I'll tell you guys a little bit more about our clinic. So just a little bit about Volunteers in Medicine. So we have 2 clinics here in the Coachella Valley, one in Indio and one in Palm Springs. Is that better? Yeah. And we service anyone without health insurance who's low income. All of our services are free to these individuals. So we really have the mission of not letting funds be an issue as to why people are not seeking health care. If you guys know anyone who really needs it, let them know they can always call. We ask no questions about their immigration status. We really just have the hope of really helping out all these people, especially if you know anyone with diabetes or hypertension. These are all issues that, really could lead to more serious health concerns. So please let them know that we're here to help. And we're so grateful for the support that you guys give, because it really is, through the support and donations of the community that we're able to do all of these services. I know at times when people hear free healthcare, it's, kind of hard to believe, especially now knowing how expensive all that can get. But it really is, like I said, through support of people like yourselves, of the community, of donations, of volunteering your time, that we're able to do, so much for people who really need it. So thank you, and we're so grateful for being here today.
In the spirit of sharing what we can, please welcome the offertory for the good works of our congregation and Volunteers in Medicine.
And invite us, please, to pause for a moment of quiet reflection together. We are here in this space, brought together by love, brought together by hope, brought together by the desire for relationship and connection, for safety. And so we hold in our hearts, as we pause together, all of those who are unsafe in our world at this moment. Unsafe because of the actions of governments, unsafe because of the actions of military invasions, unsafe because aid is withheld, unsafe because hatred and fear are in the hearts of those who make decisions. We hold all of those people in our lives, in our world, who are unsafe at this moment. And we hold our own fear, our own concern, our own anxiety about our lives, and our own anxiety about what we can do, because we know we are called to act. And so here, as we gather in this place, we seek support, we seek solace, we seek challenge and inspiration. And here we find love. The love between us, the love among us, and the love which holds us all in its embrace. That love which is broader and wider and deeper than we can ever know. That love which holds us and tells us that we are beautiful, that we are powerful, that we are gentle, and that we are not alone. We pause in the embrace of this community and that love. May all beings know peace. May all beings know an end to suffering and fear. May all beings know love. Friends, will you join your loving voices together as we sing Spirit of Life, Fuente de Amor.
Rise in the sea.
So, I have a confession to make to you this morning. I do not know everything. I do not know where everything is, or what everything means, or where everything came from. I don't know how to do everything. I know this will come as a shock and disappointment to many of you, as it does to me. It certainly is a shock to me when I realize that I don't know or understand the context and meaning of something I encounter in my life. When I realize that I don't actually know how to do everything that life asks of me to do, or that I want to be able to do. And there's more. The things that I do know, the things I do know about, the things that I do know how to do, there was a time when I did not know how to do them. There was a time I didn't know how to knit. I didn't know how to sing, how to read or write. I didn't know how to make jam or to speak up for myself, to organize people. I didn't know how to get the message out, how to change minds, how to protect a community. I didn't know what the lives of others were like. I didn't know how to do crosswords or balance a checkbook or play cards. Think for a moment, will you, of all of the things that you actually know about and know how to do. Think for a moment about the time before you knew those things. Remember back. Someone or something helped you learn. Someone or something taught you how to think this way or act this way or do this thing. And either willingly or not, you chose to learn. I've been thinking a lot about that lately as we've been facing the world that we are facing, as we've been wondering individually and collectively how we're going to figure out what to do to keep all of us safe and healthy and thriving, figure out what to do to nudge or demand that we find new pathways through this life together. And as I've been thinking about this over the past few months, I have remembered times when I didn't know the things that are really central to who I feel like I am and how I move through the world. So I want to share a couple of those things with you today and then think together a little bit about learning and teaching. So I said there was a time when I didn't know how to knit. It's not that I didn't know how to knit socks or gloves or sweaters or blankets or scarves. I just didn't know how to knit at all. I may have played with my mother's knitting needles and watched her make sweaters and afghans and hats for cold winter days, but I never asked her to teach me, and she never offered. She did teach me how to make chocolate chip cookies and spaghetti and how to do crosswords and laundry and how to treat people fairly and how to balance my checkbook. So I forgive her that lapse. And until 15 years ago, I had never made a single knit stitch. Something that, as you know, I talk about way too much, has become so central to my life. Actually, it was 15 years ago tomorrow is what I call my knit-iversary, the day in 2010 when I said yes to my friend Ben's invitation to join him and a few other guys at a local yarn shop for a Guys Knitting 101 class. I think what made it a guys knitting class, but there were just guys there, and there was beer. There it was that I chose out some yarn first and some needles and patiently let Ben teach me how to get the yarn onto the needle, how to make a knit stitch and then a purl stitch, how to change directions and how to keep going and going and going, and then how to bind off at the end. And after a few classes and a few weeks, I had made my first scarf. This scarf. It's not much to look at. It's a little ratty, but I love it. I love the color. I love how soft it is. And most of all, I love that I made every single one of these imperfect stitches when just weeks before I had no idea how to do any of it. Taught one-on-one how to knit. And grateful for it. And of course, nowadays there is YouTube and TikTok and so many ways online for people to share a skill that they've learned. Some people offer learning for a fee. Some people share freely in blog posts and videos, seminars and Zoom gatherings. So many opportunities to learn about the nitty-gritty of knitting and crochet and other crafts. So many opportunities to learn how to make sourdough bread, as so many of us did over the isolation of the pandemic. But also offerings of tips of fixing things around the house, plumbing, electrical, windows, offerings about how to reach out to our elected officials or organize a sit-in or how to use a person's chosen name and pronouns kindly. Now, it is true, and we talk about it a lot here, that the internet and the web and social media have become highways for the sharing of misinformation and anxiety. But they have also become conservatories and schools and libraries, offering anyone who wants the opportunity to teach the skills that they have mastered, and anyone who wants to vast opportunities to learn. And there are ways of learning that aren't about being explicitly taught as well, ways of learning with our hands and our bodies and our minds that grow from modeling and observation, repetition, and apprenticing. I mentioned earlier there was a time, when I didn't know how to sing. By that I mean I didn't know how to use my voice in ways that made music that was pleasing to listen to. I had a voice that others liked, but I didn't understand how to use it well. And so when I joined the other boys in the choir at my church, I was told to stand next to an older boy, one who'd been around a while, one who knew what he was doing, who could show me how to hold my music and my head, who could point to the notes that he was singing so that I learned better how to read music, who could model for me when to breathe and how to pronounce all those Latin words. And yes, the director taught us and corrected us and helped us listen to each other and shaped the sound of the choir, but the core of the learning happened side by side with the older boys. When I think about that, I think about the ways that our Sacred Grounds team have modeled for us how to care for our land, the way they have invited us to share in the work of planting and pruning and watering, shoulder to shoulder, tending these lands that we inhabit and guiding us to learn. I think of our greeters and ushers teaching and modeling to each other how to welcome each other into the building on Sunday. Hospitality folks working side by side in the kitchen, getting ready for coffee hour and sharing tips and tricks and rumors and stories as well, I know. It's always in the kitchen. So I want you to think for a moment about something you learned how to do that you didn't know how to do before you were explicitly taught, or before you put yourself in a situation where you could learn from those, around you. Maybe it was how to read, or how to write a letter to the editor. Maybe it was how to make your grandfather's favorite dessert, or fix your great aunt's car engine. Maybe your friend taught you how to do Sudoku, or a fellow congregant taught you how to write postcards to get out the vote. Think for a moment of a time, something that you learned that you didn't know how to do when you were explicitly taught, or you explicitly chose, I'm going to learn how to do that by watching that other person. Just think for a moment on those things. Maybe you were the one teaching. Just hold on to those. Our theme for the month of March is learning from each other. It grows, as all of our monthly themes do this year, from the covenants, the promises, the commitments that we are called to, which grow out of the 6 values that we Unitarian Universalists have recently claimed as central to our common faith. This month, the theme grows out of our commitment to pluralism, which we describe in these words. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. The wording continues. We covenant, we promise, to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. We covenant to learn from one another into our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. That responsible part always grabs me. That's the thing I like about that phrase. Our search, our learning is meant to be responsible. And today, I hear that to mean that we have to be honest about what we learn and give credit where credit is due for ways we speak and think about things. It's one of the reasons I've been talking a lot lately about being clear about where the quotes and ideas we find on the internet and social media really come from. Acknowledging the origin of things helps us understand our history better and helps us be better in relations with the people and the cultures around us, especially those given less privilege in our intellectual understandings. The title of today's sermon, Each One Teach One, for example. It seems to be a simple enough idea and pretty universal as a way to go about teaching and learning. When I mentioned the title in our audio AV meeting a couple of weeks ago, Sue Kasperi affirmed that she had learned or heard it in her civil rights and racial justice training that she had been part of years ago, and it certainly thrives as an idea in those spaces. But it's even older than that. The phrase and practice grows out of the lived experience of people enslaved in this country, people who were forbidden to learn, to read, right, people who were forbidden almost any education at all, with the plan and intent to keep them powerless and dependent, unable to organize and communicate outside the purview of slaveholders. It was a means of dominance and control, deliberately practiced to continue the suppression of the humanity of millions of people, this forbidden to learn. But of course, those who were enslaved found a way. The British Columbia Black History Awareness Society, I know that's a strange place to come from, but this is where I found this week. British Columbia Black History Awareness Society shares that this African proverb, each one teach one, originated in the era of enslavement on this continent. When one enslaved person acquired knowledge or skills, including learning to read or write, it was a shared understanding and commitment to teach another person. It's a practice of freedom, of dignity, of hope and empowerment. So I think it's important to remember the origins of this as we face this world today, as we wonder how we will survive and thrive, as we wonder how we will protect those under attack, those most vulnerable. Because just because many of us are facing these realities as new experiences, there are communities all around us and members of our own communities who have been facing fear and repression for decades and longer, who have been figuring out how to support, how to survive, how to take care of themselves and resist racism and homophobia and transphobia and Islamophobia and anti-Semitism and misogyny and rapacious greed. Can we learn from them? Can we have the humility to learn to listen? Can we decenter ourselves and act in humility and find ways to learn together? I want to share one example of something you'll be hearing a little bit more from me about in the next couple of weeks. The Transforming Hearts Collective is a group of queer, transgender, and non-binary faith leaders of many races, many classes, many abilities, spiritualities, and ages. They say they are change agents rooted in a vision and goal of liberation for all. In their own words, they represent a vision of a world in which queer and trans people can show up fully as ourselves in all of the places we call home. Its leadership includes trans and non-binary Unitarian Universalist leaders, among other religious liberals. And they have created several offerings lately aimed at helping congregations and communities learn how to be better at welcoming trans and non-binary folks into their community and how to be better at protecting them. Just recently, they have shared that they've created a 3-session class called Responding to the Anti-Trans Movement, a course for Unitarian Universalists, which in 3 sessions covers Trans 101, so basic information for those of us who don't know it, what you need to know about the anti-trans movement, and how to ensure your congregation, your community is truly trans welcoming. Here they have collected their lived experience in the world and our congregations to provide learning for people wanting to collaborate and become co-conspirators in resistance and thriving. I will share more about how our congregation can engage in this learning together over the next few weeks, but we will be hearing about it. They are called, if you want to look online, they are called the Transforming Hearts Collective. I'll send it out in the reading list. And we can also learn from larger bodies and institutions and individuals who have skill and resources to teach us how to respond. Your Social Justice Committee has been sharing, and I have been sharing, resources in our newsletter and on our community Facebook pages, ways to get involved and build resistance and possibilities. Resources from the Unitarian Universalist Association and the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee and the ACLU, resources collected from people whose lives are most impacted by our current situation, who bring their long experience of resisting and growing that we can all learn from. We will continue to share. Please keep your eyes open for that. Hear it, see it, think about it, respond to it, demand more of it. There is so much going on around and within us, so much that demands that we change our ways of thinking and relating, so much that demands that we act to protect institutions and ways of being that we have taken for granted and therefore not learned how to imagine needing to protect. So much that demands that we act to protect our neighbors and their families. So much we don't already know how to do or feel like we don't know how to do. And we can respond in fear by shutting down and battening down the hatches, or we can respond with curiosity, kindness, and love, and ask for help. As Julia reminded us earlier, ask for help in learning how to do what needs to be done. Think about all the things you didn't know how to do before someone taught you how. Think about all the things you didn't know how to do before you chose to ask for help. Think about all the things you didn't know how to do before you watched someone else do them and thought, I could try that, and those things you know how to do now. Think about the endless possibilities that when we reach out to teach each other, to learn from each other, that's the world I want us to imagine together. May it be so. Friends, will you rise in body or in spirit as we sing together When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, composed, and the words and music written by Canadian Unitarian Joyce Poley.
When our heart is in a holy place.
have several items of congregational news today. First of all, please join us today at 11:30 on the Labyrinth for original poetry readings featuring our own Sandy Sladen and Margaret Manson. Also reading her original poem written for the 50th anniversary of Palm Desert is Poet Laureate Lori Davis. Also, Cheryl Eaton is seeking 2 more volunteers for our UUCOD Laundry Love event Wednesday, April 16th at Wash Time Laundromat in Palm Springs. Please contact Cheryl for more information or to volunteer. Next Sunday, March 23rd, immediately following the worship service, plan on joining us for a salad luncheon and a meet and greet with our new members. Very exciting day. And one announcement from Social Justice. Who do you want to nominate for Share the Plate? Nominations will be open March 28th through April 13th, with voting happening soon after. Start planning now so you can nominate as many of your favorite local and high desert nonprofits as you wish. The top 9 vote-getting organizations will be our Share the Plate recipients for September 2025 through June 2026 and will be unveiled at the end of the annual meeting on Sunday, April 27th. Any questions? Contact Denise Jansen Eager. Now I'd like to welcome Mel Wilkinson. She has a little announcement.
Hear this? Okay. Hold on. Well, okay, now, first off, I'm going to ask for help. Because that's what our theme is. Hey, it's help. Reach down in front of you, and everybody who has a hymnal or a book in front of you, please pass it to the edge of your aisle. Yeah, do that now. Do that now. Yeah. Thank you. Pass it over to the end of the aisle and just put it under the chair or at the end of the aisle.
Put it under the chair.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. We're just put it under the chair there in front of you. There you go. Perfect. Now, the reason I'm asking this is because for the first time in, how many years we've been in this building? We've been in this building 20 years, and we've never had the chairs cleaned.
We bought new chairs.
So tomorrow we are going to begin cleaning the chairs. Not you. We've actually hired professional cleaners for this. But emptying the chairs, emptying the volumes is helpful, thank you. I was going to do it all myself, but that would have taken 2 hours, so I figured, hey, I got bodies. So I'm sure you're wondering what this is. Let me see if I can. It unzips here. I mean, I know it does. There we go. Now, anybody know what this is? These are gloves. Okay, these are gloves. Anybody got a pair? How many people have a pair of gloves? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get this out of here. Okay, now let's see. Anybody know what this is? These are knee pads. Anybody have them? Oh, you do? Okay. Some folks do. And my most exciting thing, well, after your own heart, right? reason I brought these is to demonstrate our stage is falling apart. It's becoming unsafe to walk on, and we could shore it up by tearing it all apart and rebuilding the whole thing and putting 2x4s every 2 inches, but that's a little excessive. So the decision has been made that we are going to dispose of the stage. It is a trip hazard. What I'm here for is to ask you for your help in dismantling the stage. And the reason I brought these little few tools is to ask that you bring your tools and help me and all of my little squad, very little squad, to dismantle our stage and take it out and dispose of it. So that's going to happen this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Yay, a reasonable time. But 10 o'clock in the morning Saturday, if you can come and help, that would be great. Thank you so much.
And with our last bit of congregational news, I'd like to welcome up Jane Beth Stover and express our gratitude for all her efforts on the patio sale.
Well, following the theme of show and tell, I brought something too. You see this? You see this? We had this made several years ago. It says, for those that perhaps can't see it, UUCOD, the little church that could. Well, I'm here to tell you, we're the little church that did. We did it. The total for this year's yard sale was $14,000.23. We aced it, you guys. We aced it. Not only did we make a yard sale, I mean, this is crazy. Who makes $14,000 at a yard sale? But we did. We did. And it was because of you. You made it. You're going to make me cry. You know, you can't do anything singularly. You can't. I couldn't do it by myself. And you can't do it with a small group. And we did it with a very big group. We did it with people who brought in their tables. They brought in clothes racks. They brought in everything. And are we seeing it now? There's Margot Perry. Yeah. Yeah, and the donations that you brought in. There were so many donations, wonderful donations. We couldn't fit them in the community room. They were stacked up outside the community room. When the evening came, we needed to make space to pull them inside. Then we had pricers. Then the pricers came. They worked for 4 days. They worked hard, and they got all that stuff priced. And then at the ungodly hour, of 6 a.m., the guys came, the strong people, came and helped get the tables out. Then the workers came to run the sale. And then people came, another crew came to cover the tables for the night. This list goes on and on. And I'm sorry, they're not showing it anymore. But that was, you were seeing the community room where the pricers were working there. This was a group effort. We did it together. Together we did it. We are the little church that did $14,023 strong. Thank you so much.
As we extinguish the chalice, the words that are the correct ones will be on the screen, not in your order of worship. So please join me as we do this together. As we extinguish this chalice flame, may the warmth of its light remain within us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak the truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way.
When Geoffrey Chaucer wrote about love, he said this: "The life so short, the craft so long to learn." We are invited each day into the knowledge that we are surrounded by what we do not know, and also into the knowledge that we are surrounded by experts and models and guides, if only we can reach out to each other in humility and kindness and hope, and take each other's hands and journey together toward possibility and justice and change. Go in peace, my friends, to love and serve and learn everything you can about the world.